believe that you can use social media to help people. And, so often social media is used to tear down people. And so what we try to do with Twitter Philanthropy is help people who are in immediate need or crisis. And so what we do is basically we get on Twitter and we figure out, okay, who's in, real crisis, and we jump right into it, and we either raise money for people, or I give money myself. And it's really become a viral thing. And, we have millions and millions of people now who are watching what we're doing from, all across the globe. So it's something we're pretty excited about, and, we're going to keep on doing it.
I think it's amazing. I'm very impressed with this. And I always think, like, if everybody gave what they could, that it would really, it's an amazing thing to inspire. Like, we try to do that here. That's one of the things that we try to do, is sort of inspire people to get involved, give what you can. Some people can give money, some people can give time. And that's the thing. And some people can just help by sharing the information, which is something that, we promote here a lot. So talk about how you first started doing this. Like, where was the first thought that you had, like, this could be like a real good thing?
Well, I put out a tweet saying that I would give away $10,000, and I knew that it would get attention, but I didn't think that it would get as much attention as it did. And it really went viral. And I said, wow, I think I'm onto something. And so, a couple of days later, I started tweeting out again, and then I started raising money for veterans. And it was like, it was almost like magic in a certain way. And so I've just decided to kind of keep it going. And, right now what I'm trying to figure out is how do we do it so it's not dependent on me? Because, obviously I have resources to be able to help people, but how can we create almost like a, and we've done this, but, I would like to have Twitter Philanthropy exist without me. And once it exists without me, then we'll really be a success. And so that's where I'm spending a lot of my time these days, is trying to figure out how we can make successful without my involvement being necessary.
Right. Do you ever think, like, as much as this is amazing, that wouldn't it be cool if we lived in a place where we didn't need that? Like, where people didn't need GoFundMe for healthcare and, these types of things. Like, wouldn't that be nice? Like, it's somewhat, I love it, but then I feel sad that this is even where we are, that this is necessary because we don't have a civilization that takes care of ourselves.
Of course. Yes. And I think that, for whatever it's worth, I do think that over time it will get better. And, I hesitate to say that because the government is so, we all probably feel the same way about, how people are left out. But, I think with technology being what it is, and me seeing what I see with Twitter Philanthropy, whether it's Bitcoin or some of these other technologies, they're so quick. They're so able to get resources to people who wouldn't otherwise have resources. So I think if we can keep using technology, and I think technology has a way that makes us have to use it, we'll continue to lift people out of poverty and out of, extreme situations. I mean, we're helping people who get their eyes blown out from, like there's this one little kid, he got his eyes shot out one night. He was sleeping in his bed. This is a true story. And somebody shot inside of his home. Well, this is by no fault of his own. And so we were able to put up the campaign, and we got him a glass eyeball. Obviously, we couldn't get him his vision back, which sucked, but we were able to raise him some money. And so, if we didn't have Twitter, if we didn't have this technology, we wouldn't be able to do it. So hopefully over time, it continues to get better and better, and more people do it.
One of the things that I've observed in particular when you do the Twitter Philanthropy is that people will specifically tell you that I need $150 to cover this or something like that. I think that, and this is coming from somebody who's had all different walks of political life and observations. But one thing in particular that people who are politically conservative always like to say is, I don't want my money getting funneled through any type of organization. If there is something specific that somebody needs help with, I am more than happy to give it. I just want to know exactly what it's for. I want to know that this is going to help them. They have a car payment that they need. They are trying to fill their tuition. I don't want some nonprofit, basically becoming this middleman that's siphoning money away from where it really belongs. Was that in any way the impetus for you making this decision to basically say, I want to help people and I don't want a whole bunch of red tape in the way for me getting that help to them immediately?
Yeah, not so much the political discussion in terms of, the I didn't really think of it through a political prism as much as I just thought, like, to your point about red tape, we got to get rid of this red tape and, enough of this BS. And, when you look at, and I love big charities, okay, my family has a big charity, but when you have big charities, or when you have these balls or these galas, as I call it, and you spend all this money on all of this overhead, let's say, that is all money and resources that might be able to go to people directly. And so, yes, that was a very motivating part for me, was to get rid of the red tape. And we try to do that every day. I mean, most of the time it's me. It's basically 100% me. And so when I see something, it's just, okay, should we do that? Boom. And then it's instantaneous. It's right away. So there's no diddle dallying around or anything like that. And, if I added any bureaucracy, to your point about politics, it would materially slow things down, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But, one of the things that we see with nonprofits, and it's unfortunate, is especially the ones down here in South Florida, is organizations that start out, let's say, really grassroots, really well intended. We're going to serve, we're building community. And then they get bigger and bigger, and then they get co-opted. And now the next thing you know is they're really no longer doing anything. They're just existing to serve their payroll. Like, they're just existing to be this nonprofit. And I've seen it down here with several organizations. We've seen it. And I mean, that to me is the biggest problem when I look at big nonprofits is are they actually serving, or are they just existing to make payroll?
Well, I think that's wise, and I agree. And unfortunately, or fortunately, or whatever, I don't think it's so fortunate. Human nature, I think, is always going to be greedy, and human nature is always going to want power. And so, there was an old saying, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And what you're describing in terms of how things start and then how things end, that's why even with any money that's sent to me, or any money that I would ever make off of social media in terms of profit, I would just give back, because, the problem is, once you try to start benefiting from it personally, financially, in terms of profits and pocketing them and these type of things, it can really corrupt the thing. So, I make sure that at least I do that anyway.
Yeah, but you're also just you. So that's you're able to just be you without having to have an organization that's, with a board and all of that stuff. You're just you. That's freedom. I mean, that's really cool. I wish I could do that. I want to be you, Bill. That's what I want.
I don't really subscribe to the idea that you need money in order to do it. I mean, even just the fact that you're having me on and spreading this whole thing, I mean, it could be, as far as I'm concerned, you could be reaching people who could donate to the kid who got his eyes blown out with the gunshot, right? So, it's not one of those things where you need to be rich. I mean, yeah, to, do the amount of money that I'm giving away in those things, yes, of course. But, if everybody does their part, that's the power of this team is, when we put something up, it's not Bill Pulte. And I sometimes make a point. I say, I'm not donating to this one because I want the team to handle it. And if everybody chips in $1, $5, $10, you can take care of a lot of people, especially when you're dealing with, the internet, and we can reach so many people.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.